Hola, welcome to another soundtrack for today. Hot off the press. This one, man, I just walked in the house, was over at some relatives, eating dinner. James Brown documentaries was on, and they were just kind of going through his career, his story, famous career. And the part that caught my attention that I thought was interesting was they were talking to Mick Jagger, and they were talking about this TAMI show that he was at and he performed, which TAMI was a 1964 rock and R&B concert film. And TAMI stood for or stands for Teenage Awards Music International. And there was a discussion about between Mick Jagger and James Brown about, who would go on before whom. And the producers, of course, picked the Rolling Stones, Mick Jagger. And he commented that that was like one of the worst things that he could have done. And part of that story was the performance of Night Train on that show. And that is what we're going to take a look at today because they were showing clips. I didn't just get a chance to watch the whole thing. So without further ado, let's put the needle on the track. Crazy. Get it, bro. turned that mother out. James Brown Night Train. TAMI, Teenage American Music International. Killed it. Now imagine going on after that. That's what Rolling Stone, if I remember correctly, if I heard correctly, that's what Mick Jagger and Rolling Stone had to do. So of course, there was conversation about that, and of course, hey, when he was like, "Hey, okay, fine, suit yourself. You asked for it." Now, I don't think it was his decision. I'm saying Mick Jagger, we're making that call or whatever. But yeah, man, incredible performance. And think about that. All he was doing was night train, 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 and then it was just dancing. You look how in step they were. Again, it's just an instrumental track. You know, it infused a lot of gospel with the call and response. They were saying the stuff he borrowed from the church and put into his performance. So I was just tired watching it. Just watching it, I was exhausted. And part of like being on stage and performing is that using the gospel part of growing up in that Baptist gospel church and bringing that to the stage, like people grew up, so they're used to that sort of stuff. So he'll get up there and he's just pumping up the crowd each and every time, just pumping them up, priming them, boom, 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 and then he just let loose. And they just going nuts. So he started off with it, came back, pumped them up, night train, then he hit him with it. Bust a little moves, step, hit move the feet. My feet moving fast every time. Came back when he was doing a little one-stepper thing, following it this way. Y'all think y'all be doing some stuff now? Y'all think y'all be dancing now? Do that. Once he wore him out, came back, hit him again. Night train, night train, night train, hit him one more time. Dance his ass all the way off stage. All part of the performance. Going crazy. Brought his ass right back out, hit him again. Boom. Sat down, all performing the performance, man. That's James Brown. You don't have James Brown, you get no MJ, you get no Usher, you don't get like who else? Somebody else. No matter. You know who I'm talking about. All these guys, man. Prince, geez. Prince. You don't get Prince, you don't get all that. James Brown. And you don't, and in all honesty, Little Richard. You don't get Little Richard, you don't get James Brown, you don't get Prince, you don't get MJ, Usher, and all these guys. But anyway, man, yeah. They play like the beginnings and then parts of the third act of that performance on the show I was watching. I wish I knew the name of it, but Questlove was on it, Mick Jagger was on it, Daryl also was on it, talking about him, James Brown, son and daughter. But I wanted to see the whole thing because the way Mick Jagger was saying, the way they were talking about when Night Train was done and then he walked off the stage, here come the Rolling Stones ass. And they were really, really popular. Don't get me wrong. They were a popular group and they had their fans. Y'all saw the crowd. You guys know who they were there to see. Of course, they were there to see the black performers too, but they were there to see them. And y'all saw the announcers afterwards. We know what it is. But then you see that, and then here they come, blung, 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 with their little guitars. And the Rolling Stones are fine, but y'all know the music. That's a hard act to follow. And James Brown sent the message. Do that shit again. But, I was over there watching it. It was good. You guys know I love music. I love the stories in music. I love sharing and telling these stories in music. So definitely when I saw that, it's a part of music history that I didn't have, just seeing them talk about that. And I wanted to share it with you guys because I don't know if you guys have heard the story or not, but I definitely wanted to share it and watch the whole performance. And that's why it is the soundtrack for today. Night Train.